teaching. Well, this is Act Two of my teaching career. I spent 20 years in Wisconsin before I got here, and I've been here since 2010. So people have been asking me, so how long have you been here anyway? And it's like, well, 15 years. So I've been here a bit and long enough to see things pre-consolidation and post-consolidation. So when I got here in 2010, I was literally hired in through the side door at the last minute to teach public speaking. I got a call on a Friday night from our then department chair from El Som with mariachi music in the background, talk about a job interview. So I said, yeah, I can do that. So I started that way. But as far as the highs are concerned, the thing that impressed me the most about this particular campus right away was when you look at the mall and you look down the way, the end of the mall is the student center. And that is so different on this campus than what I typically would see. Because in a lot of schools, every school I've ever been to, none colleagues at, they all give this lip service to, we're here for the students. And yet at the end of that mall is probably the administration building to kind of make the point symbolically, we're in charge, and we're big and bad, and we're living large. And, students, well, they're kind of our clients. And here it's different. I found that as a high point, actually. And the low point, there's never enough baby formula to feed the baby. There just isn't. That's the big problem. I mean, even this radio station is an example of that. You've got a certain amount of funding that has to be committed, and it's just hard to get it. So, you can only do so much with what you've got, and you do the best you can, and after that, you kind of have to just say, well, it's maybe there for another day, another person. I still am in touch with quite a few students on Facebook. I know Facebook is not the cool thing right now; it's something else. But I still see it's kind of encouraging to watch a lot of my former students. They leave school, they get married, they start families, and then they start adding to their families, and they climb the ladder, and you can kind of see that sort of circle of life. Let's all break into Elton John. Well, the retirement is such a strange thing to think about in a lot of ways. I was telling one of my classes just yesterday afternoon, you don't think about it very often, but I am 50 years. I'm what it looks like 50 years in the future for you. And I don't think the average undergraduate thinks about it that way. But, you look at people like me and we sort of seem at a certain point kind of ageless. And it's like, well, they're just part of the furniture and they're going to be here forever. And the answer is, well, not really. At some point you move on.
Lastly, Shields adds some inspiring advice for new students and staff joining the program at UNG.
It's hard to think of something that is so all-encompassing. It kind of reverberates for the ages. But I would say this. I'm living proof that education makes a difference in somebody's life. The credential, I think what a lot of people think about when they come through a degree program is they kind of think about the credential aspect of it. They want a piece of paper, and they think that if that piece of paper is successfully in hand, they put enough time, enough money, enough effort into getting that piece of paper that guarantees them a better job. And so it becomes a kind of exchange of medium of like investment. Well, there's that. And I don't want to take away from that because that's part of it. But I think the more important part of it is that a true education, as opposed to just a credentialing, makes a big difference in terms of elevating your thought. It makes you a better thinker. It makes you a more compassionate person. It makes you a more nuanced person. It makes you just a better person. It makes you more introspective. Honestly, I think there's a big part of why people shy away from it. They don't really want to stop and look at what they could do to improve. So you have to be dedicated to a process of continual self-improvement. And if you've decided to do that, then I think you're going to go far in life, really. And you'll accomplish things that you never would have dreamed you would accomplish. I sit here and look at myself. If you only knew where I had come from. I came from a poor industrial Rust Belt city in the Midwest. I was on the wrong side of two sets of tracks. My family didn't grow up with means at all. And I'm the oldest of four boys, so all of us became professional people in one way or another. And, it's because my parents were really dedicated to the idea that school meant something and education meant something. That was your ticket. That was your ticket.
Professor Stephen Shields, we wish you the best retirement.